midway point between Toronto and London. We have a population of around 122,000, making us a small to mid-sized city, and some of our major employees are Research in Motion, I'm sure you've all heard of, Open Text and Sunlight. Between the two universities of Waterloo and University of Waterloo, there is a student population of around 40,000, and future population for the next 20 years is to expand to around 150,000. And to address that increase in population over the coming years, the Director of Transportation saw the need for a transportation master plan. And through that process, we determined quite early on that the big streets policy would align with the intent of the master plan, but also federal, provincial, regional, and local transportation planning policies. And it was certainly aligned with Waterloo's vision for a sustainable community. So we developed a framework to show how the streets policy would align with our official plan and a number of our local strategic plans. And it would certainly align with the intent of the pedestrian charters signed by Waterloo Council in 2009. And to capture those areas that we couldn't really define under a street concept or the street right-of-way, we developed a Link Greenways component to capture things like off-road trails, green spaces, and green corridors. So drilling down a little bit further, we started to apply how we take, actually to use Janet's terms, how we take our policy definition down to a list of action items. And drilling down to the key pillars, we had the four typical of planning, design, maintaining, and operating, but we felt we needed a communications component, an asset management component, and also one for implementation. In Waterloo, we feel we're doing pretty well in these two departments. We have almost 500 kilometres of sidewalks, 160 kilometres of bikeways and trails, with a further 160 planned over the next 20 years through the master plan, and we have an excellent development approval process that captures active transportation needs. And from a design perspective, I've just highlighted the cycling technologies that we're looking at or have been using. So what we really need to do is focus on the areas that we want to do so well. And here's a list of some of those. Definitely cycling needs active structure terms. Clearance of debris and obstructions in dedicated cycle space. Addressing poor surface conditions for pedestrians. And although we have almost 500 kilometres of sidewalks today, and a number of them actually look like this, so addressing these through the retrofit prioritization program. On winter maintenance, yes, we have winter here in Canada. It was actually standing or listening to the conference last year, but trying to focus this presentation. Waterloo current policy for sidewalk snow clearing is for abutting homeowners to clear within 24 hours of the snowstorm. But there's two issues with that, two major issues anyway. One is the timing. Some people will clear well within the 24 hours, others at the 24 hours before they get the ticket from bylaw, and others obviously not at all, which is another issue. So that provides a challenge. And the other is the consistency of the surface itself. Some clear down to the bare surface, others will leave some residue like this, and even this snow and ice can become a challenge to some members of our community. We need a program to address the clearance of snow and ice at transit stops, address a number of our primary trails that form a critical link in our active transportation network. And through communications, we felt that we needed a program to communicate with the streets to the community. And I don't just mean the general public, I mean the council, developers, consultants, and contractors. And we need to determine the role and responsibility of Waterloo's Transportation Advisory Committee and work with our municipal partners on cross-border projects. And taking an asset management approach, develop supporting parking policies and programs, and end-of-trip facilities such as bike parking. And further on asset management is trying to take audits within the pedestrian and cycling realm, and that means an actual physical tool that you can go out into the field that staff can use. Develop a staff report each year to inform people or council of what's been built this year and what's going to be built next year in terms of active transportation. The staff to perform the standards and collect and monitor the data to see how well it's working. And this was a vital component of our structure to restructure. Basically, active transportation sits in about 3 or 4 different city departments, and we felt it was needed to be consolidated and managed under one umbrella. We would need to rewrite some of our programs and policies and procedures, and retrain is probably a bit of a harsh word, but certainly educate staff, management and council in understanding the principles of complete streets and how to apply them in their daily work. And then we also had this important to develop a working group to oversee complete streets across the corporation. So I'm not expecting to read this, obviously you can see it on our website, but it kind of shows some of those drill downs that I mentioned, and there's the key pillars of what we call complete streets. And this formed the basis of our complete streets policy, which, as you may have heard in the introduction, in your handouts, that City of Waterloo Council passed our transportation master plan just within the last 2 weeks, thereby accepting the complete streets policy and what we believe to be the first in Ontario and possibly the first in Canada. And I'm pretty sure someone can tell me after this that we're wrong, but that's fine. So taking the opportunity, this is really a project that was working in tandem at the time of the master plan. And because it was advantageous that I was project manager of the master plan and this reconstruction, that it applied the complete streets principles to this project, even though we didn't actually have a complete streets policy. So just to give you a little bit of flavour, that road, it's a 4-lane undivided major collector road. It kind of, most of it is backwarded residential, and it cuts between 2 communities. It's around 2 kilometres long, very straight, high operating speeds, and not surprisingly high number of collisions. And in the far corner on the left-hand side, you'll be able to see that's one of our regional shopping malls, very high attractive for the local community. It's a little bit further down. There are very few opportunities for pedestrians across the road. Within that 2 kilometres, there were a set of traffic signals at either end, and a further set about half a kilometre south. So we've basically got 1,500 metres where pedestrians don't have any crossing facilities whatsoever. And in the background on the left is a special needs store. There are no cycling facilities on this road. And although the number of transit stops, they actually just, it's within the fast boulevard.